Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Today we will learn the art of answering comprehension questions of various types. Through this lesson, you will learn to identify and answer different types of questions, improve your reading skills, as well as critical thinking abilities. It will also help you analyze texts more effectively and draw conclusions based on evidence from the text. There are different types of questions, such as literal questions, inferential questions, rephrasing or own word questions, vocabulary questions, meaning and effect questions, and writer's craft questions. Literal questions are those questions whose answers are clearly written in the passage. However, one should take care to write focused answers and not to copy a long passage. Literal questions mostly consist of 5W and 1H questions. That is, who, where, when, what, and how. Who refers to a person, where refers to a place, when refers to time, what refers to a thing or an action. How refers to method or process. Sometimes what questions could be tricky depending on how the question is phrased, such as, what was the reason for his refusal to complete his homework? Which means, why he did not do his homework. Literal questions may also start with words like explain, describe, state, write, etc. Quoting a word, phrase, sentence, or expression also comes under the category of literal questions. While answering such questions, one should always remember not to change the form of verb, but always copy the word exactly as it is. Inferential questions are those questions whose answer is not clearly written in the text. In order to answer an inferential question, you need to read between the lines, use background knowledge along with hypothesis, deduction, and prediction skills. There are two kinds of inferential questions. One is logical inference, the second one is empirical inference. Logical inference means to use your logic to answer the question. For example, statement 1 says, all mammals are warm blooded animals, whereas statement 2 says, a dog is a mammal. So we conclude that a dog is a warm blooded animal. Empirical inference is also known as the data collected on the basis of observation. For example, the observation is every time it rains, the ground becomes wet. So the empirical inference is therefore, rain causes the ground to become wet. So let's analyze some of the signposts of inferential questions. Do you think? How can you tell? How do you know? Suggest a reason why. What do you think? What evidence is there to show that? What possible explanation is there for? Who do you think? Why do you think? Why might? While attempting a rephrasing question, you must not change the meaning of the word or phrase. You should always try to read and understand the phrase or sentence in its context. When you are asked to write in your own words, the first thing that you need to understand is that the answer is clearly written in the passage. So you need to find out the answer. After that, identify the keywords. You should also look at the marks. If the answer is of 1 mark, you should search for one keyword. If the answer is of 2 marks, you should underline or circle two keywords. Then replace them with a synonym which has a similar meaning. And then you arrive at the final conclusion and rephrase or write in your own words by using those synonyms. For example, he's a walking dictionary. The two main words are walking and dictionary. Walking is associated with legs and people, and dictionary is a book that provides meaning of most of the words in a certain language. The term walking dictionary suggests that he is a person who knows the meaning of a lot more words than an average person. Use of language. Such kind of questions test your understanding of words, phrases, or expressions which are used in the passage. You need to look at the word associations, and also you should try to identify the slight differences in the meaning. For example, seeing the 8 A's on his report card, John floated out of the school hall. Now, here, what does the author suggest while using the word floated? The author suggests that John felt so happy that he drifted out of the school hall. Let's analyze what does word association mean. For example, John drifted from one job to another. What does the author try to suggest by using the word drifted? When we analyze the word drifted, we realize that it has multiple meaning. It means floating. It also means moving without any clear direction. When we see the sentence, we realize that the meaning of having no direction fits in the sentence. So here the author is trying to suggest that John moved aimlessly from one job to another. While answering these questions, one should also observe the slight difference in meaning. Let's analyze this example. Get back here, you imbecile, Glenn bellowed. Why did the author use the word bellowed instead of shouted? You can see that both the words tell us that Glenn spoke in a loud voice, but the word bellowed suggests that he said it in a deep voice too. So the author used the word bellowed to show that Glenn spoke in a voice that was loud and deep. Writers' craft questions are inferential questions. It is a technique the writers used intentionally to create an effect on the reader. There are different categories of craft, such as word craft, structural craft, audible craft, and visual craft. Let's analyze some of the examples of word craft questions. Peter and Mariam went on yet another trip to the market. What effect does the writer achieve by the use of the word yet? The stallholder claimed that the tortoise was made of genuine jade. What effect does the word claimed have that would not be achieved by said? Now let's see an example of structural craft question. In the passage, the author uses a series of short, concise sentences to convey a sense of urgency. How does this choice of sentence structure contribute to the overall tone and impact of the passage? In this type of question, you are asked to analyze the author's use of sentence structure and explain how it influences the tone or impact of the passage. In audible craft questions, you analyze the speaker's use of tone, pacing, and other auditory elements. In the novel, the speaker utilizes a slow and deliberate pace. How does this choice of pacing contribute to the overall mood and message of the speech? In the visual craft questions, you examine the artist's use of color, composition, texture, and other visual elements. In the painting, the artist employs vibrant colors and bold brush strokes. How do these visual elements enhance the theme and emotions conveyed in the artwork? I'm confident that after watching this video, you all are now equipped to answer any type of comprehension question. Thank you.